Guys, how you doing today? I received a plant from a friend. I went ahead and opened it up because I couldn't get to it right away. We had a guy over here mowing, so I had to kind of wait for him to get done until I could come out here. I'm going to go ahead and now, of course, I do know what this is. It's an orchid. Oh, she needs a drink badly. This is, I brought some water out here because I figured it would need a drink. This is an Oncidium, and the name of it is Volcano Hula Halua Volcano Splendor. And I'm going to put her down in some water so she can get a drink, and her leaves will get a little bit better looking here. This is, I'll put a picture up of the blooms on this plant. But it is very, very beautiful. He emailed me and got a hold of me and said he was splitting up his mother plant and it was getting too big and wanted to know if I wanted a piece of it. And I said, yeah, sure. So he sent it to me. He sent it out Monday. Today is Friday. It just came this morning. So she's been in the mail about 5 days, and she definitely needs to have some moisture going up to her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her sit and soak in this water for about an hour or two, and then we will get to repotting her up. In the meantime, I will slip a picture of the blooms in here, and you guys can see the beautiful blooms that she gets on her. Now, I grow most of my orchids in lava rock or river rock, so I will be putting her in river rock, or excuse me, lava rock today. I'll be potting her up in lava rock, so you'll get to see how, you can see how I do that. I know a lot of you have asked about that, and I just really haven't had to repot a lot of my orchids so far, but I'm seeing a few now that do need it. So, I'll get to that sooner or later. Alright, I'm going to let her soak for an hour or two, and then, get her some fresh air and some daylight, and we will get to potting her up. Okay guys, here we are back at the orchid. She has been soaking her, oh geez, I don't know, a couple hours I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her potted up. I'm just kind of looking over. I took a little bit of the dead stuff off. She's got some new roots right here. You can see they're really nice and green. This is kind of just hanging on. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this piece off. I'll still pot it in with it, but it was just barely hanging on. So what I'm going to do is, I pot mine, oh, this is a Oncidium Volcano Splendor, and I use lava rock. for the majority of my orchids, and I really like growing in lava rock. It works well for me. Just trying to see where I want it to set. And I'm just going to, as you can tell, I already put some lava rock in the bottom of my container. I may have to go get more. But I want to get this one set in first, and then I'll kind of sneak this one in over there. I'm going to lay that newer root down, and then just kind of gently put some lava rock over top of her, over top of the root. Yep, I'm definitely going to have to go get some more lava rock. I was going to grab more, and I should have. Because I like to put it in to where, of course, it's going to stand up on its own. I have a couple more pieces down here. And this big piece is going to be too big. Okay, I went in and I got some more lava rock. I didn't quite have enough smaller pieces, so I grabbed, there's some river rock and some leca mixed in here too, which is fine. It's not going to hurt nothing to mix it up. I do it all the time. So I'm just going to try to stick this piece down in here, and then I'll hold it and start putting it in here, kind of picking out what I want to fill in with. So there's leca, there's some river rock in here. River rock, leca. It all works well for me, so I enjoy using it all. The river rock is super pretty. If I'm mixing it, I usually try to keep the river rock on top. That looks like it might fit. Yep, right there. Then I'll just kind of fill in around the areas that has little holes and what have you. I should have grabbed just a handful more, but this will be okay. It's in there. It's in there pretty tight. It's I love growing my orchids like this, because then I'm not overwatering them, and which was a huge problem I had in the beginning when I first started growing orchids several years ago. But I learned to grow like this from Rick Owl, and ever since I started, my orchids have just taken off, and they've grown so much better for me. So this is how I choose to grow. Alright, that looks pretty good. And now all I'll do is, how I do mine is I put mine with the lava rack or the river rack or the leca, is I put a solid container under mine, and then I just water it. Oop. It's a little bit too much. Dump some of this out. But I just water it, and I keep just a little bit of water in the bottom of my container. And then they dry out, and then once they dry out, I go through and water them again. But usually, well, summertime is a little bit different growing in the lava rack or the river rack or the leca. But, you know, because I might go through and twice a week, 3 times a week. It just depends. I go around with my hose. I water my orchids or my watering can in the house. But once a week I feed them. Some of my orchids I feed every time I water. So, you know, it just kind of depends on what you want. But George, I really appreciate this, and I can't wait to see her bloom. And once again, this was Volcano Splendor, and I will pop a picture up of it. And I think she will do really well for me. I will be setting her out here on my table. As soon as I get my mess cleaned up, she'll sit right over here on this table. And that way I can keep an eye on her for a while, and it's a good spot for her. She'll get plenty of sunlight right there, or daylight. And I sit here a lot so I can keep an eye on her for a while. And I am going to let you guys go. I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Thanks again, George. Peace, guys. Bye.